Kathy Jones is studying journalism. She has two friends and classmates, the rich Derek Webb and the artist Travis. They often hang out at a bar, chatting about journalism and the media. When Travis gets distracted trying to hit on a pretty girl named Rebecca Lewis, Derek tells the bartender that Travis is the son of a famous rock musician and a supermodel. According to him, Travis's parents are so absorbed in their careers that he's been bouncing between hotels since childhood. When Travis returns to the bar after being rejected by Rebecca, the bartender offers everyone drinks on the house, which surprises Travis. All in all, it was a fun night. Of course, Derek's story about Travis's background was pure fiction. Travis and Kathy live with Derek in his large apartment. He doesn't mind at all, especially since his relatives have long since cut ties with him. In the morning, the friends rush to their journalism lecture. When Professor Goodwin asks a question, Derek gives his opinion that gossip and news are the same thing. People have always told stories, embellishing them with imaginary details. After the lecture, Kathy suggests working on a group project, something Professor Goodwin occasionally allows. As they pass by, Rebecca greets Travis sweetly, even though she was cold toward him the night before. Travis has wanted to get to know her for a while. Later, Kathy shares her idea for the project. They should deliberately spread a rumor. The point is to see how the gossip evolves and what it leads to. Derek and Travis support the idea. The friends go to a party. At the bar, a girl from their department named Mary approaches Derek and says his answer to the professor today was impressive. Joining the party are Naomi Preston, known in the faculty for her beauty and unapproachability, and her boyfriend, Bo Edson. Everyone knows Naomi's father is very wealthy. When Kathy hears from her classmate Sheila that Naomi has been spreading nasty rumors about her and Mr. Goodwin, she sees this as a chance for payback, and a perfect opportunity to launch the project. Everyone in the faculty knows Naomi dates different guys but never crosses any lines. Derek stares at her a little too intensely. Naomi only recently transferred to their group. Kathy approaches Travis, who is clearly very drunk. He jokes about having trouble with gravity. Derek's new acquaintance, Mary, is also drunk, and he helps her get to the bathroom. At the same time, Derek sees Naomi and Bo together. Bo plans to take advantage of Naomi's condition, but she falls asleep. Derek watches this unfold. Soon after, Bo leaves the party, leaving Naomi sleeping upstairs. But Kathy, Derek, and Travis decide to start a rumor that something happened between Naomi and Bo. Kathy hates girls like Naomi, rich and spoiled. Travis is very drunk, so Kathy and Derek have to practically carry him. Derek has been thinking for a while that there might be more than friendship between him and Kathy. Kathy knows all about his womanizing reputation, but she can't resist the kiss. However, she quickly pulls away and says she doesn't feel anything. The next morning, the friends discuss their project. Travis, who isn't hungover at all, thinks they need to stick to a shared version of the story so the rumor doesn't spiral out of control. Derek, on the other hand, believes it should unfold with minimal interference. That's the whole point of the experiment. Kathy understands the consequences could be unpredictable, but the thrill gets the better of her. At university, Kathy immediately tells the rumor to Shelley, who passes it on to others. Naomi's reputation as the untouchable beauty begins to crumble. By the end of the day, the whole university is gossiping about her. The rumor quickly grows with outrageous new details. Kathy is pleased, realizing the experiment is working, and rushes to share the results with Derek and Travis after class. Now everyone on campus thinks Naomi has several boyfriends. The friends laugh, enjoying their victory. But the experiment isn't over. The rumor keeps circulating, returning to them with new twists each time. Meanwhile, Travis tries to express his artistic side by experimenting with photos of Naomi, but he lacks confidence. Derek supports his friend, saying he's going to make it. At the same time, the rumor won't die. Naomi can no longer feel comfortable anywhere, not on campus, not even at the student cafe, because everyone keeps whispering about her escapades. Bo insists that nothing happened that night, but Naomi has doubts because everyone around her says otherwise. Kathy, Travis, and Derek track how the rumor keeps changing. At this point, there are 4 versions of the story. But things go off course when Shelley and other girls from the faculty start telling Naomi that what Bo did was a crime, since she had been asleep and couldn't give clear consent. Kathy realizes that things are getting out of control, although her friends don't share her concerns yet. Derek says it's just words. Naomi also starts to believe what everyone is saying and decides to go to the police. She's not certain about anything, but many people claim that Bo bragged about it. That makes Naomi think it might have actually happened. The police arrive at the university to question Bo. When Kathy finds out, she can barely keep it together. But Shelley insists that Bo deserves it, especially since Kathy herself told everyone what happened. At the police station, Bo insists he's innocent. Many people are gossiping about something they didn't even witness, and no one really knows the truth. But the detectives seem to ignore Bo's words, continuing to ask whether Naomi said a clear yes or no. Kathy is sure they have to stop before it's too late and tell the truth. It's gone too far. Travis objects, saying that what people believe is the truth. Derek agrees with Travis, especially since he didn't see everything that night. He kept getting distracted by Mary, who wasn't feeling well. But he does remember that at some point Bo slammed the door. Maybe the accusations against him aren't entirely baseless. Kathy begs Derek to stop. Their experiment has spiraled out of control and is about to ruin an innocent person's life. The investigation is ongoing. Bo hasn't been arrested yet. Naomi is avoiding him. When he tries to talk to her at the student cafe, Shelley pushes him away, yelling that everyone knows what he did. The detectives have a case to solve, but things are complicated by the fact that Naomi's uncle is a friend of the mayor, who is personally overseeing the investigation. Professor Goodwin holds a debate in class about women and victimhood. He points out that it's often hard to determine whether someone is truly a victim. Police show up at the university and arrest Bo. Kathy is increasingly disturbed by everything that's happening and goes to talk to Naomi. She has started drinking more often because she's finding it unbearable to live in an environment where everyone knows everything about her life. Kathy cautiously tries to suggest that maybe Bo is innocent and that it's all just gossip, especially since Naomi herself had spread rumors about Kathy and Professor Goodwin, and everyone believed those too. But Naomi denies this and insists that Bo belongs in jail. When Kathy mentions that her roommate is Derek Webb, Naomi suddenly flies into a rage and throws her out. At home, Kathy demands an explanation from Derek. He admits that he went to the same high school as Naomi, but denies that they ever interacted. But Kathy doesn't believe him. Why else would Naomi get so furious at the mention of his name? Derek keeps insisting he has no idea what this is about. Suddenly, their argument turns into passionate intimacy. Travis in the next room hears everything but says nothing, continuing to experiment with photos of Naomi. The next morning, Kathy replays Derek's words in her head. How people always remember him, but he doesn't remember them. What could have connected Derek and Naomi in the past? Kathy begins her own investigation and travels to the school where Derek and Naomi studied. In the library, she finds a yearbook and confirms that not only did they go to school together, but they also dated. They even attended prom as a couple. When Kathy asks the principal about a student named Naomi Preston, he clearly gets nervous and refuses to give any information. Later, Kathy approaches the school secretary and asks her to share something in the hope of helping Naomi. The woman says people prefer not to talk about it. The incident never made it into the newspapers thanks to the Preston family's powerful connections. Kathy realizes the woman knows much more and urges her to talk. At home, Kathy tells Travis and Derek that back in school, Derek did something inappropriate to Naomi, and maybe he did it again at the party. Derek tells Kathy not to believe ridiculous gossip from strangers, and Kathy offers him a chance to tell them the truth himself. Derek admits that he and Naomi did date in school, but everything between them was consensual. Later, Naomi, being a spoiled rich girl, got scared her father would find out and falsely accused Derek. But Kathy senses that Derek is hiding something. Travis still wants to believe Derek, although deep down he's beginning to have doubts too. Realizing that spreading the rumor about Naomi was Derek's twisted way of getting revenge, Kathy walks out. Travis refuses to leave with her. Kathy goes to the police station and tells the whole truth. Originally, it was her idea, but she never imagined things would go this far. However, Detective Kelly finds Kathy's testimony unconvincing, assuming she's doing it for Bo, especially since there are rumors Kathy has feelings for him. Kathy insists they don't even know each other, but the detective strongly advises her to stay out of it, warning that she could be charged with obstruction of justice. When Kathy leaves the police station, Derek is already waiting for her and mocks her, saying he's better at making up stories than she is. Kathy begs Travis to join her in telling the truth, but he refuses to betray Derek, telling Kathy that without him, she's nothing, just a pathetic nobody. In despair, Kathy calls Naomi, but she hangs up immediately. Kathy is crushed and no longer wants to see Derek, though she still lives at his place. Being a cynic, he doesn't feel uncomfortable about the situation, but it hurts him that Kathy takes everything so personally. On the other hand, Kathy realizes Derek might have a point. Maybe Naomi isn't worth losing everything over. Catching Derek on the street, Bo strikes, convinced that the real guilty one is Derek. A brutal fight breaks out. At one point, Derek tells Bo to stop, claiming Naomi tends to lie and has done it before. But Derek uses Bo's hesitation to gain the upper hand in the fight. He is determined to carry his lie through to the end. Later, Derek goes to see Naomi to talk. She screams at him to get out, but he asks her to just listen, because only he knows what really happened that night. Naomi gives him a chance to speak, but instead of explaining, Derek accuses her of ruining his life with false accusations. Now, he intends to ruin hers in return. He admits to spreading the rumor and confirms that Bo is innocent, but it doesn't matter anymore. Everyone believes what they want to believe. In a fit of rage, Naomi attacks Derek, managing to leave a bite mark on his arm and a scratch on his cheek. Grabbing a photo of Naomi, he leaves. Kathy seems to have calmed down and no longer hates Derek, but then Travis shows up with shocking news. This morning, Naomi's body was found. It's clear she did it on purpose. Kathy realizes they're all to blame, but Derek disagrees, saying Naomi was just weak. In reality, Derek is overwhelmed with emotions he keeps to himself. Travis withdraws into himself, having no idea what to do next. Soon, Detective Curtis shows up at Derek's doorstep and asks to come in. He's investigating the death of Naomi Preston. Derek remains calm, claiming he didn't see Naomi the day before. But the detective says that Bo saw him leaving Naomi's room the previous evening. Derek denies it, pointing out that Bo is under investigation himself. But Detective Curtis knows something is off. There were signs of a struggle in Naomi's room. Police are considering the possibility that Naomi didn't harm herself, but that someone else did. The detective asks Derek how he got the scratch on his face. Derek replies that Bo attacked him yesterday. Detective Curtis leaves, hinting that this won't be their last conversation. Derek knows he is now the prime suspect. Travis thinks he and Kathy should help him. The detectives have already spoken to her. But Kathy has no desire to become an accomplice. Derek reminds her who started the rumor in the first place. But that doesn't scare Kathy, because Naomi's room is full of Derek's fingerprints. Soon, Derek is due to go to the police station to give his statement. He asks Travis to lie for him and bring the photo of Naomi that Derek took from her bedroom, but Travis is unsure. Derek insists that Travis has no motive, so nothing will happen. It's just a friendly favor. The guys don't know that Kathy is eavesdropping on their conversation. Later, she goes to Professor Goodwin to talk. Goodwin announces during the lecture that today they'll discuss what happened to Naomi, and he asks Derek to share his thoughts. Derek just brushes it off. When Goodwin publicly announces that it was Derek who started the rumor, Derek tries to shift the blame onto Kathy, claiming she was the one who came up with the idea. But no one listens to Derek. Everyone in the lecture hall turns on him, accusing him in unison. Unable to fight the crowd's opinion, Derek says that everyone in the room relished the gossip, then leaves. At the university, everyone begins to despise Derek. When he returns home, the police are already searching his apartment. Detective Curtis presents him with a search warrant. The friendship between Derek, Travis, and Kathy is hopelessly shattered. Now it's every man for himself if they don't want to end up behind bars. The police find the photo of Naomi among Derek's things. He realizes that Travis planted it there, setting him up. Derek claims he only wanted to protect Travis because he's obsessed with Naomi. To prove it, he shows the detective Travis's room filled with photos of Naomi. Travis flees immediately, but Detective Curtis knows that the DNA traces in Naomi's room belong to Derek. The detective advises him not to even think about running. Everything has spiraled completely out of control, and the creators of the experiment are no longer able to stop it. Of course, Derek has no intention of staying. He gathers his documents and essential belongings, planning to flee to Switzerland, but Travis blocks his way. When a rational conversation fails, Travis pulls a gun on Derek and demands that he go back to the apartment. Kathy enters, begging Travis to stop, but he can't let Derek get away with it. Kathy keeps asking Travis to put the gun down, and in that moment, Derek lunges at him. During the struggle, someone accidentally pulls the trigger, and the shot hits Kathy. Travis panics and calls 911 while Derek begs Kathy to breathe, but she dies in his arms. Travis is about to tell the police that it was Derek who fired the gun. In a surge of emotion, Derek blurts out that it was him, not Bo, who was with Naomi that night, but he never meant to hurt Kathy. Only then does he realize that their entire conversation is being captured on video. In truth, the gun was loaded with blanks, and Kathy wasn't hurt. Everything had been set up just to make Derek confess. Detective Curtis and Professor Goodwin walk in, followed by Naomi, alive and well. Bo is with her. It turns out that Derek was the real subject of their collective experiment all along. The police officers were actually hired actors. As she leaves, Kathy tells Derek that for once, she lied better than he did. Derek worries about what people will think of him now. Travis smirks and says, "It's just words. What harm can they do?"